get into our 2022 Impact wish list. So I had a bunch, but the audience has covered most of the ones that I wanted to cover. So I just pulled out a few from the audience that I had already said. So I'm gonna go over my wish list, and then JD, I want you to hit yours, and then we're gonna go to the audience wish list, and then we're gonna get out of here for the day. How about that?
Sounds good. I did not look at your wish list or the audience wish list because
Okay.
I wanted my own thoughts to be fresh.
Yeah, no, that's good. So what if we've already covered it? Once we get to the audience one, we'll breeze right over it. So
do you want to go all five, or you want to go? I got five.
Let's
go
volley
back and forth.
Let's volley.
Let's volley. I like it.
Okay, we'll volley. Fuck it, we'll do it live. All right. Sorry, I had to go Bill O'Reilly. Sorry. So this is in no particular order. I just kind of listed them, but one of my biggest pet peeves is Impact is Matt Stryker, and I want a new announce team immediately, and I want them to sign Ian Riccaboni and Veda Scott for their announce team. I think an Ian Riccaboni, Veda Scott, and D'Lo Brown as a trio announcer, although I prefer dual, but the way that the world is right now, I think that you're going to want to get the trio in there and cover demographics. And I think Ian Riccaboni is the best announcer out there that's unsigned. And I think Veda Scott is a resource that you can use, and you got that female voice there, especially with the amount of female talent that they have on Impact. The Knockouts division is a vital part of the show. I think having her on the TV show every week would be a great idea.
Lucha Underground Matt Stryker was fun. Impact Matt Stryker is awful.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I co-sign.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Cool. Your turn.
Let's talk about women. In 2021, we had this Forbidden Door opening, but none of the knockout talents got to step through it, right? And I know Deonna Purrazzo was vocal about that. So what I'd like to see is Deonna Purrazzo specifically, or any of the knockouts, to be quite frank, making an entrance to the Forbidden Door, not just in AEW, but anywhere. Like, I'd like to see him do some work with Stardom. Stardom's got a relationship with New Japan, same parent company. I think that having Deonna, like on the free show, which you should listen to, I said the idea of Deonna being doing the Kenny Omega belt collector thing, bring her to Stardom, right? I think that would be awesome. Like, let's let Deonna be kind of our best representative. Let's open that door and let's get the women going through it. Like, it doesn't have to be a lot, but just like he did. Like, remember Kenta showed up in AEW and that was awesome. Everybody went crazy about that for 2 weeks. That's all I ask. Let's do that.
Let's do that. I dig it, man. I like that idea. This one, I think is going to get BQ standing up and giving me an applause. Honestly, we got to replace We Own the Night. I'm sick of it. They play it in every commercial break. They play it in, they play it out. Yeah, whoa, we own the night. And you don't own the night if you're not even ranked in the top 150. So
you're not even leasing the night.
Right. So let's just get rid of that. Let's get an all new theme song. In fact, let's replace We Own the Night with A Game or I Been by fucking God Illa. Let's get his stuff in there. Okay, that's a wish. That's a big wish of mine. Yeah, I think that would be a much better theme song. But any other theme song than We Own the Night has to happen. We need to replace that.
I like it. So I'm gonna go with what I thought we were going to end the year with, but we didn't. I want to see Josh Alexander become the guy in this company. Right now, I just listened to the JR podcast, and they did Starrcade 91, and we're in the middle of the Sting Abdullah the Butcher Cactus Jack feud, and I went, that's Josh and Jonah.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly where we are right now. 92 is the year that Sting went ahead and finally beat Lex Luger, and they really re-cemented him as the guy in WCW. And then Watts came in and fucked it up. But this is what I really would like to see is I'd like to see Josh become Sting, like the guy, like a franchise player in 2022, and like have a lengthy title run where he is unequivocally the dude in Impact Wrestling.
I dig it, and I think that you're going to get your wish.
I think so too. I think that was a pretty safe one, but that's really what I want. Now
you brought him up. I'm going to go ahead and bring him up. I want a Sting appearance in Impact in 2022.
Oh, I think that'll happen. I think we can make that happen.
It's the 20th anniversary. Okay. They're still friends. Everybody's homies. I'm not saying that Sting needs to come in and wrestle. I just want to see him on the Impact show at least one time, either on pay-per-view or on the TV show. I want to see Sting in Impact. It could be the last time ever. I think we need to see it because Sting's one of my favorite wrestlers. He's one of the greatest wrestlers in Impact history. I'd say Kurt Angle is probably the greatest wrestler, but as far as keeping the company afloat for a long time, Sting was the guy there for a while. So, and he was the guy in WCW for a long time, and he's an absolute Hall of Famer, and I won't hear any different. He's one of the greatest ever, and I love the way AEW is using him right now as a legend. He wrestles sparingly. He's 62 years old. He looks to be in great shape. Let's get him on Impact at least one time during the year.
I know what you're doing. About a week ago, I got all fired up on Twitter when like these Greensboro idiots will sit there and be like, Sting never really drew as the champion. I'm like, yeah, Sting was champion in 1990 when Ric Flair wasn't drawing. So, that's the thing is WCW was an incompetent company, and if had it not been for Sting, it would have been a lot worse than it was. Sting is a legend and a Hall of Famer, and he's one of the greatest of all time. And like, I think this AEW run, because it's getting a lot more attention and it gets a lot more love, quite frankly, than the TNA stuff did, has really cemented him as that. Like, he's out there, he's 62 years old and he's working his ass off. Yeah. Like, we almost saw him die jumping off the top, jumping outside of the ring onto 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. But he doesn't have to do that. He can just be like, I'm Sting. I'm just going to Scorpion Death Drop you. But he's not. Like, and I want to see him come into Impact at some point just for a thing, right?
Yeah.
He's in the Impact Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He was I believe the first one ever. Yeah.
Then put the Main Event Mafia in or something, and bring Sting back.
Or later we'll get into another one of my wishes. He can just be a part of announcing somebody else for the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean?
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be absolutely awesome.
Or just making an appearance at Slammiversary in like a 30-man tag or something, and have him do 2 minutes of work. Just something, right? So something great. Sorry,
you have to use the Ruckus music. You can't use the Dale Oliver stuff because that wasn't very good.
Yeah. Just real quick. Breaking news. I had a tweet. Hard to Kill is officially sold out. So good news for Impact. Hard to Kill officially sold out. So congratulations to Impact, the whole team over there. So
yeah, nice work, guys.
Yeah. So your turn. What is your next wish? Wish number 3.
I want to see this goddamn show booked better. Like, I want to see I'm hard on this. I'm really hard on Scott D'Amore because he's head of everything. We see a lot of illogical, nonsensical booking from time to time. We see a lot of like repeated stuff in the same episode. We see a lot of sloppiness that results from shooting stuff out of order because you're trying to make things work with when you have people, right? And it's led to some and you can always tell when they're toward the end of the tapings because the shows are always worse, right? Because everybody's tired and everybody's just trying to make things just go, right? It's not been a very well booked show this year. It hasn't, right? Aside from the main event scene, which I think has been decently booked. We know Megos, or I thought it was well booked, and then we're out of that, and I don't think it's great right now. But I want to see more logical. When I say logical, I just mean following like legit, like realistic, like relatable story beats. I want to see better, more creative thought put into, and I'm not saying creative, I'm not saying shooting lightning out of people's fingers because that's not creative. Like, I just want to see a better booked wrestling show. You don't need to have super awesome talent to have a well booked wrestling show. Like, I hate Jim Cornette, but he proved that when he was in OVW because his shows were actually pretty damn watchable and good.
Smoky Mountain too.
Smoky Mountain's an even better example. Smoky Mountain TV was awesome, and he was just rubbing sticks together to make fire. You know.
No, totally agree. I think they need a new creative energy for 2022. This one off the wall, but I don't care. I just want to see some cage matches. I feel like it's been forever. I'm not saying bring back the Lockdown pay-per-view, or they could bring back Lockdown, but maybe not have every match a cage match, because I think by the third match of these prelim guys having cage matches, it doesn't matter anymore. But have a pay-per-view and then do the Lethal Lockdown, their version of War Games, which I think everybody kind of has one now. But Impact has had one longer than AEW and MLW and NXT and all these other companies. So kind of go back to that, and then just have some world title steel cage matches with some fucking blood. Just give it to me. I've been missing that in Impact. I know WWE has been doing them to death, but I don't watch too much WWE, so it hasn't really hurt my experience too much. I want to see it in Impact, because I think that I think Josh Alexander versus Moose should happen in a cage at least once, given that that's a blood feud. Put some barbed wire at the top, just go all out, man. I want to see some cage matches in Impact.
I don't think you could when they were taping at Skyway, because I'm pretty sure that ceiling was too small.
Right.
But now that we're out and we're traveling, the cage match is an all-time great wrestling draw, right?
Yep.
it almost always draws. Like it's a cliche. Like we're gonna do it in a cage, and everybody gets excited because it's usually pretty damn good. But do a real cage match. Don't do the WWE bullshit where I hate you so much, I can't wait to fight you in this steel cage, and then when that bell rings, I'm gonna run the fuck away.
Yeah, I'm gonna escape as soon as I can.
Right.
So,
it makes absolutely no sense. The psychology of a WWE cage match is stupid.
And and that was from the Bruno era where they didn't want to pin Bruno, so they would do escape the cage.
I believe it's actually Bruno and the Sheik.
The
man wants to get pinned, so they came up with that. And for one time, I get it, but like you look back on that Orndorff Hogan, literally, I'm not making this up. The greatest house show draw in WWF history was Paul Orndorff, Hulk Hogan, blood feud. How does it end? Them racing to get out of each other's way.
Yep.
Right. And they're reviewing the video to see who hit the ground first. And it's like, that is the satisfying conclusion to this I hate you rivalry, is I'm going to run away from you. Like, and I love Owen and Brett. I was there for it. I saw it live. And I remember thinking at the time, because at the time I was watching like old NWA stuff. And I'm like, I didn't like it when I was 14. And looking back at it now, it's good. It's especially compared to the WWF cage match, it's really good. But at the time, I was watching, videos of Magnum and Tully try to kill each other with a chair. So it's like, why can't we do something cool? But the runaway cage is dumb. So we're gonna bring the cage match back, murder that sumbitch in there.
Yeah, man. And so in November, maybe December of 2006, I just watched it recently because I'm still doing my rewatch of 06 Impacts on Impact Plus. Rhino and Christian Cage had a hellacious cage match, and it was making me think, it's like, man, this was on regular TV. Both guys are bleeding like stuck pigs. They hated each other at the time. It was a feud. There was the big blow off of their feud. They actually went feuding with other people after that. Go figure, they had a blow off, and then they were done and they feuded with other people, which was great. And it ended in a bloodbath, and I really liked it. So cage matches. All right. What's yours? Next one, number 4.
My number 4 is, we actually addressed this already in the show, which made me kind of happy. I said, Wishlist. I want to see Axis doing a better job of promoting the show. Local advertising on Raw and Nitro. I almost called it Nitro. Raw and Dynamite is not that expensive. National advertising can be expensive, but every show, they have local ads for local shows, right? That there's no reason why they're not buying up advertising on there to advertise your show. There's no reason they're not buying up advertising in the local markets to sell tickets to your shows. Right. I think Axis, and it sounds like this is getting addressed, but I really want to see Axis, Anthem, everybody on board really focus on selling their product.
Yes. Yep. And we're going to get into a little bit more of that here soon. I completely agree. So mine, I want to see, so it's the 20th anniversary of TNA / Impact and WATNA. I want Dixie Carter, Mike Tenay, and Don West all to go in the Hall of Fame this year. I know Dixie Carter is a controversial one, but if you ask me, it died on her watch, but she kept that thing alive for a long time, her and her family. I think she
is responsible for killing it.
She is, but that's through more incompetence than anything else. I think that she deserves to be into the Hall of Fame for keeping it alive for as long as she did, because it was going to die in like 2002, 2003 if her and her family didn't step in and take it over.
You're right.
When you go into the Hall of Fame, I think there's a lot of baseball players that go into the Hall of Fame. Their last 5 or 6 years aren't very good, right? But their first 15 were excellent, so that's why they get in. So I'm thinking, like, that's what I'm thinking. Like she did enough good to outweigh the bad. I don't think she needs to come back to the company. I think that she just needs to get recognized for all the good that she did.
I don't think and this is where I these ideas of Hall of Fames are so interesting, and no one can get like a clear consensus on what they think is Hall of Fame worthy. I actually think that part of being a good boss or a good manager is knowing that you don't know what you don't know, right? And too often these bosses, and not just her, but I mean, this is a problem in corporate America in general, is these people think they understand everything because they have money, and they think because they have money they have smarts, when actually it's a cliche, the whole born on third base thing. And she was one of those, like she did not hire the best people to run things. Like right. When you they were doing good things in 06, 07, 08, and 09, and they bring in Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff, and now Eric Bischoff tries to wash his hands and says, I really didn't have anything to do with this. When the whole show reeks of wannabe Nitro.
When something good happens, he takes full credit though.
Full credit, but when everything's bad, he's first to run away. And then his Wrestling Inc. succothants and ad-free idiots will run and just tell him how great he is, because he had a year and a half where he lucked out into being, successful. He had that one good idea that he's going to hang his hat on for the rest of his life. Stephen King, the man isn't. Like, when you bring that in, I don't think that's a responsible owner. I don't think she made very good decisions, from the time that they took the company. Basically, essentially, they kind of pushed Jeff out of a creative role. From then on, it wasn't good. The whole LOL TNA theme comes from her work.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think that's something that should be honored. I don't think it should be vilified either, but I don't think she should be like praised in any way for being incompetent. Same way, I don't think we should praise 2005 Vince McMahon and on, because I don't think he's done a very good job the last 2 decades either. Right? Realistically speaking, yes, they have these kick-ass TV deals, but the show sucks.
Well, what about Mike Tenay and Don West?
They're great. They're Hall of Famers all the time. They're phenomenal, especially because Don West is now going through a second bout of battling cancer. I think the quicker we honor him, the better, because tomorrow isn't promised to any of us. Yeah. And I think it's good to let people know how loved and appreciated they are while they're still here. All
right. What's your last one? And then I'm going to quickly go over the audience ones, because I actually have to go soon. So,
okay. Super Clash 2022. When I say that, the original Super Clash was an AWA, NWA, CWA super show. Yep. I want to see New Japan, AEW, Impact, and Noah, because Noah is awesome, together doing something in the US, a big ass show. New Japan and Noah are having that big third day Wrestle Kingdom thing. It's not a great card, but it's going to give you a chance to see all these great talents on one show. New Japan is working with All Japan to do something cool later in January too. AEW and Impact have worked together and things. I want in Madison Square Garden, here's my hope, is that Omicron just rips through our country really fast and then we're done.
Yeah. We all have, we get those. Hope. Yeah. Let's all just get it and get those beautiful antibodies. And then you just have to worry about it for a while.
That's what I'm hoping, is that we all are okay in a couple months. And then we can do Madison Square Garden or United Center or, something cool in LA. Like, let's just do one big ass show that can compete with a WrestleMania, because you can't do it on your own, but maybe you can all do it together. Headline with Kazuchika Okada, Bryan Danielson, right? Because who doesn't want to see that?
Oh yeah.
Like, and then give me like Josh versus Katsuhiko Nakajima, right? Give me like an awesome wrestling show with everybody working together for just one night. That's all I want.
I love it, man. I love it. That's a great wish list. So here's from the audience.
But don't actually call it Super Clash. That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, terrible idea. And the Super Clashes weren't that great. So
they weren't.
All right. I want to go rapid fire audience wish list. This one goes without saying. I wanted to leave it with the audience. The new TV home or access get more coverage, meaning getting to more cable homes. What I will say about that, I did reach out to Dave Meltzer through Garrett Gonzalez, and they talked about it on Wrestling Observer Radio. He said he does not think that Impact will leave access, but he didn't really talk about access getting more coverage. However, the YouTube insider guy said that be on the lookout for access and YouTube TV this year, the online cable system. So there you go. We talked about this, spend on advertising, bigger arenas. We've already seen them actually start to book bigger arenas. So they're getting 2,000 to 3,000 seat venues. So that's cool. This was something that I brought up earlier this year, at a 1 hour knockouts show. I think that's cool. They would have to, sign some more knockouts and probably do it in a fixed remote location. But if they want to do that, they'd have to hire a new booking team to be able to manage something like that. So CHT Cardona heel turn. I think we're going to get it, guys. I got that one several times, the CHT. More factions. I couldn't agree more. I think that getting a main event level faction would be a good addition to the show. It always helps tell some stories. Don't go overboard with the factions, because I think that after a while, I think AEW had probably too many factions at one point in time, to where the Hardy family office was probably the worst thing on the show every week. But I think that getting some more factions would be good. And then you brought it up already, but more Forbidden Door stuff. A lot of people want Forbidden Door stuff. I think is good. And here, so everybody kept saying that they wanted all these people signed in different posts. So I'm just going to put this all in one post. Okay. Everybody wants them to sign Wyndham, Adam Scherr, Tony Storm, Briscoes, EC3, Taya, John Morrison, Tegan Knox, Ember Moon. And then there was like 10 other people. I think we might get a couple of those people. So Impact only has, so many spots. You're not going to get to sign everybody, right?
A third if you're lucky.
Yeah. overhaul the tag team division. I could not
Yes.
agree more. Let's
Cosign.
let the Good Brothers contract. Let's let them expire. See if AEW will pick them up. Hire new social media people. Apparently that's already been done. Gail Kim did announce that they've hired all new social media people. So apparently I'm not an Instagram guy, but apparently their Instagram hadn't been updated in weeks. So I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah. Make the digital media championship relevant. Well, you can't make something relevant that was never relevant to begin with. I don't know. I don't know how you make that relevant other than get rid of the intergender stuff and actually bring it onto television and have tangible feuds around it. So
let's address this in another show, because
yes,
that could be an interesting conversation.
Absolutely. So this one came up quite a few times. No more Wrestle House.
Yay!
And this one also came up a few times. More Wrestle House.
Boo!
And then I wanted to read this one verbatim because this guy is my spirit animal. His name on Reddit is Look at My Work Account. Look at My Work Account on Reddit says, fix their dog shit app or kill it. This thing was bad at launch and they've done little to fix anything. It seems like they dare people to pay for their service. They started up again with the payment not received emails after fixing the issue earlier this year. Odds are I will cancel the subscription I've had since launch simply because they cannot get their shit together. Also, no more Striker. The guy is borderline painful to listen to. He actually makes me miss Josh Matthews. So
did you write this?
No, I didn't write it. I didn't write this. This was his. It wasn't even my burner account. Like we actually encountered Tony Khan's burner account the other night. Yeah. So this was not anything like that. So I did not. But a lot. I think a lot of good stuff came out of the poll or the survey that I sent out there. I hope they incorporate some of the changes. It sounds like they've already started to do some of that stuff with the advertising, the bigger venues. Hopefully we get access TV into more homes and maybe sign a couple of top names, man, to fill up these venues. But I think 2022 is looking pretty good as of right now.
Yeah, I think we're off to a good start. I think a lot of these suggestions are really good, except the guy who suggested more Wrestle House. Bad.
that was like 10 people, by the way.
Bad 10 people.
Yeah.
Cult mentality. It's like,
yeah.
It's evil. No, this is good stuff, man. I think a lot of us are on the same page. We just want better for this company.
All right, everybody. That's been Brace for Impact. And until next week, mahalo.